don't you? For sure.
Oh yeah, smacks you in the face.
Yeah. Well, it's like whenever I land back in Vegas, it's like you've just opened up the oven door, and you know, when just like that heat gets you. That's what it's like. It's kind of wild. So exactly the same thing, just repeating that same sort of like process all the way up and forwards. There's her length again that I'm keeping, and just carve out and soften. And I'm pointing into length a little bit, just to soften it out, but you'll get this beautiful, as soon as I run my hands through it, it's kind of nice, just bouncy, like flick that just runs back. Bouncy and flicky and soft. And you just get those soft edges instantly. And again, it's not that we can't make her look beautiful and soft and lived in with traditional shears. Again, you absolutely can. We're just adding steps. It's just all it is. It's the difference between like decision making with speed and efficiency. How are you feeling?
Okay.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
Holly, did you talk her into this?
Not. I didn't need to have too many words to encourage her.
But there were a few.
Yeah,
Just
blink,
a little.
blink twice if you're okay with this.
I'm curious, do you have a photograph on your phone of what you wanted your hair to look like?
Nope.
Okay.
She came in blind. She's like, Holly made me do it. I'm just here for it. Beautiful. So again, look, beautiful, bouncy, soft, lived in, flicky, gorgeous hair. Kind of looks like I've just ran a quick round brush through it and bent it and softened it, which is God. Oh my God, what? Just close your eyes for a second. Sorry, with your hairy face. Beautiful. So from there, I'm going to pop this one down for a second, and I'm going to pick up my wider tooth texturizer. Just in terms of why I'm going to use one texturizer over the other, for me, she's not really a candidate for the closed tooth one. So in the consultation, if she brought up that she feels that hers is too thick, it's too heavy, she wants to collapse it down, she doesn't want more volume, she wants to kind of like collapse and take out weight, I'm going to use this one. But she definitely mentioned she wants to create volume, life, bounce, separation, flicks, kicks, all of that, so that's why I'm going to use this one. And I think that the first thing that you'll really notice about this specific shear is that when I close it, you'll notice that I can close it and I won't need to reopen it to get it out of the hair. I can close and I can slide right the way through. And the reason for that is we just don't close the blade all the way down to the bottom, and everything circular that touches the hair. The base is circular, the teeth are circular, even that blade's a little bit more rounded, similar to the kamikaze blade, so I can close and slide. And the other good thing on that as well is if the blade does close all the way to the bottom or it's square, that's where you get that pinch, that slight pull before it cuts, so it'll seal the cuticle better. And then the other thing, those gaps are leaving hair behind. That's not cutting. So even though the gaps are pretty significant on this, and it looks really aggressive, all those gaps are leaving hair. It's like negative space. So that kind of rest assured it's not going to be too aggressive. But how I'm going to use it, I'm just going to, like I mentioned this morning, I'm just going to change the angle depending on how much hair I'm cutting. So if I do pick up a section and I go straight across, that's going to give me 16 point cuts in 1 second. So if I'm cutting the top of a guy's hair or a little pixie where I want to really texturize it really, really quick, as I pick up that section, I'm going just boom, straight across. It's going to layer it a lot. Where if I pick it up and point cut, it's going to cut such a small amount. So if you enter the section more like that, all of this rest of the hair is untouched. You're only cutting a little bit like this. So this will be really delicate, a little bit more, maximum. So change your angle depending on how much you want to create. And then the other thing that comes up a lot when I speak to clients about this, because we go to a lot of salons and someone's bought this off our website and they're like, I've never used it. I'm like, this is the most amazing texturizer you're ever going to see. You will be using this every single day, but I do get it does look scary. And sometimes they don't know how deep into the section to go. So how this kind of works is same as a hot tool. So if I want the hair to start to curl from like the cheekbone or the jawline or the collarbone, that's how deep I'm going to go in with the heat. So if I start curling from here, the hair will be straight, curly. If I go there, it'll be straight, and that's where it's going to wave. You touch whatever you want to bend with the heat, right? That's kind of how it works. Same concept. If I want the hair to start to curl from here, or here, or here, or wherever, that's what I'm going to touch with this specific shear. How I'm going to cut this is I'm going to take those same diagonal back sections, and it's great because I did a really similar technique on a shorter kind of length this morning, like a shorter bob. This is on a longer technique and it'll work just as well. I'm taking those same diagonal back sections, combing through the hair. If I can pick up the shear, if I go straight across like that, it certainly wouldn't be aggressive visually with lines and stuff, but it would take too much hair out for this density. So I'm going to go in more like that. So it's going to cut such a small amount, and I'm only really going to use a couple of teeth at the end. Super delicate, I'm going to picture where I want the hair to bend, and that's where I'm going to close, and that's completely shut and just slide through. Go a little longer, close and slide on the ends. That's completely shut, and it just slides through. Like you didn't feel any pinch or pull, right?
No.
It's kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
And it's just going to flick and curl and get that lived-in look. And there's no lines there, no lines, no aggressiveness. Phenomenal on extensions because it won't change length unless you really want it to. Very nice for blending out extensions or layering them. Next section, same thing. I'm going to go over the top. So each one's going to be done like independently. So if you look from the side, that first section done on its own, next one on its own, next one. So I'm not recutting each area. I'll go up and over the top. Think about where I want bend and flicks. You can close and slide. Close and slide. Through the back, I'm closing a couple of times because there's more hair. And just to show you, if that was like a connection point on like extensions, you can close and just slide through, and it will just add like a lived-in like bevel or bend to the hair. Really, really cool. Super silky, right? I remember when I first saw this shear, I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that thing? Like, it's gonna look too chunky, right? It is so beautiful. And again, it's not like it's in terms of individual strands, even though she has a lot of hair, it's slightly finer density each individual strand. So normally you wouldn't want to use a chunker on really fine hair, but it creates this volume and life and separation. And just right at the top of the layers, I'm just going to point in either side of this part and just a little deeper, just to support more volume. Just gets even more flicks, kicks, bounce. Oh, right. And then same thing on the second side. Problem over the second side, if I want to do the same thing, without thinking about it, my scissors are starting on this second side behind my section. Where on the first side, I was starting in the front going into the back to get that backwards movement. Here I'm behind, so it's really awkward to get in front. So my left arm almost stops me from being able to get there. The second side, I'm going to put it into the comb so it allows me to go front to back. And then I can close and slide, all the way through. Really, really delicate. This side, she's got a touch more hair, so you could add maybe one more close, just to help to balance out that texture. And if you do, let's say if you have, because I've got a lot of clients like this, or girls like this who come in to be a model, and they're like, do not even dream about touching my length, but I want more volume, more texture. Best shoe in the world. If I want to change her length with this, I'd literally need to stay in the same area and probably close it 20 times. So you got to work really, really hard to cut too much hair with this. We're, for example, most hairstylists are not scared of a regular shear, because we're used to using it. Everything that this touches, the whole thing hits the deck. Everything. This cuts 100% of the time, including our fingers. This is impossible using exactly the same way to cut more hair with this than that. But we just, because of how it looks, we don't want to cut too much hair. It's a very, very delicate, safe tool to texturize with. Really, really delicate. Which is, I just think that for me, when someone explained that, it was like light bulb. Because again, the guy that taught me to cut hair was like, I'm not allowed to use these things. Not even close. Like, if I pick this up, it's a problem. Like, what the hell, you're not allowed to use that. You used to tell me like texturizers are cheating and this and that. And truthfully, I guess like, efficient, yeah, cheat is not really the right word, but efficient. But I was taught to take a section, kiss it, pray to the gods, and cut it. Every time, right? I was like, why is this going to take me 5 hours right now? And I don't know if you guys have felt it as well, but I definitely think since like COVID, when everyone was at home and on Zoom and stuff, like speed, they want to be in and out, wash and wear hair, they don't want to be spending forever on their hair anymore. It's just so popular. And then I always love, with almost any haircut I do, I always like to go either side of the parting and just cross over with that texturizer and go in a bit deeper than I've already cut. And the reason I like to do that is I've got a series of like shorter bits either side of that parting. So if she moves and flips, there's no heavy lines that, because if she completely changed that parting now, it's going to be fine. There's no like hard, even though there's a structure, there's a soft structure. So if she does flip, which a lot of clients do, if I cut it too square and perfect, she's not going to be able to flip like that. It would almost be like a ledge there. It looks beautiful over there. It'll look beautiful if she moves it over here. Oh yeah. I can't believe you've not seen how amazing it looks just yet. Oh my God, guys. And look at it throughout, because I've just pointed through the whole thing with that. We just got flicky, separated texture just from the tool. And that's not necessarily from the curling iron or the product, because we give it beautiful, smoothed out blow dry, which is gorgeous and beautiful. But when we smooth it out, that's kind of like the opposite for volume and texture, really, right? So if it's holding it with the cut, it will hold it with the blow dry. So I know that she's going to be able to be capable of cutting it or styling it at home. From there, I'm going to go back down to the kamikaze, the slider, and I'm now going to go to the perimeter. First thing I'm going to do, lift the chair up. Everything I've cut so far, I've been lifted, so the chair's been